When you get to the end of the orientation, you've actually gone through all of this stuff, you can go to the week 1 responsibilities. All right, so let's just do that real quick. Let's go to week 1 responsibilities, and I'll show you how the weeks are oriented and organized. So this jumps straight to the week 1 part, but if you'll notice, this is actually on the whole schedule page. And you'll see that here there's assignments at a glance. If I click that, it's like a little quick jump link that takes me straight here. So I can click on the assignments here. And what this will do is it takes me to the assignment outline page that tells me exactly how to proceed to do the assignment. And I'll go over that in just a minute for the first assignment as an example. And then you can also jump straight to a week. So you can jump to the weeks this way on this page. Let's say that you want to jump to week 6. All right, it takes you straight there. And the way that I have this set up, you'll notice is like I also allow you to jump back to the top menu. Okay, so this is all one page. And then basically I have stuff linking from Canvas out to this one page, but a lot of times the links go to a specific spot on the page. And you can collapse these sections like this, right? So you can view or hide or whatever. If you want to be able to just like, oh, okay, what did we do in week 3? Oh yeah, okay, yeah, right. You can look at it like that too. And so anyway, so let's take a look at week 1. All right, and on week 1, the way that I'll have a week set up is that if I want you to do something by a certain part of the week, I'll tell you that. So by Wednesday, I want you to do all of these things. Watch the orientation video, blah, 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 right? Take a look at all this stuff. Also, you're responsible for some other benchmarks, right? Like you have a lecture that you have to watch right here. You have to set up, make sure that you can get into the server using SFTP. All right, like for you to try to do that stuff by Wednesday of the first week. By the end of Sunday of the first week, because we go from Monday through Sunday for a whole week. I want you to do a little bit of reading. I want you to make sure that you complete this lecture. And this lecture you'll see is actually in a PDF format, okay? And I'm just going to go backwards. It was still loading, but and then you make sure that you have completed the brackets lecture or the brackets tutorial, right? So up here, I had you start it. Make sure that you're finished with that, right? Make sure that you respond to your classmates on the Canvas discussion board for the class introductions, and then also then begin assignment 1. And you'll see right here that there's a link to assignment 1 where I say begin assignment 1. It'll take you there. All right, and this is the assignment, and it tells you exactly what to do on the assignment page so that you can complete it. So it says before you start, you must watch the 3-part series about getting started with brackets code editor. That is the same brackets code editor that I've been harping about already. So it just, yet again, another link, and it tells you do this before you start, okay? And it tells you about how long it takes. All right. Also, I want you to do some reading before you get started so that you have a pretty good understanding of what it is that we're going to be talking about. And I do make a note that if there is a lecture, or excuse me, if there's a lesson in the book in those chapters, that's not part of the grade. All right, you don't have to do the lesson that's in the book. That's not required. You just need to do the reading. Okay. So make a new folder on your desktop. Blah blah. It tells you exactly what to do, and then it tells you to download a file, and then it walks you through the whole thing, and it says, okay, now follow the video instruction for start coding with HTML, and it's a link. So you click on that link and it literally takes you to the entire, basically the entire tutorial on how to do the first assignment, right? So literally each one of these playlists it's gonna walk you through how to do the assignment. So by the time you're done with it, you will have a completed assignment. And then at the end, one of the things that you will need to do if you were to look back at finishing your assignment, right? It's going to tell you to follow the tutorial exactly, and as part of that tutorial, I also tell you, that you need to customize it so it doesn't look exactly like my demo, but basically I show you how to do it. And then the next part is it tells you, you need to upload it to the server, and I've already shown you some tutorials on how to do that stuff. Okay, and all right, and it gives you some other resources, and it tells you what I'd like for you to name your files and stuff when you upload things, okay? So that's kind of how this class is going to go. Most of the assignments, all of the assignments are going to be here. And if you wanted to find the assignments outside, like without having to click to them from Canvas, you can go to my website, which is learn.leightcotner.com, and it's Leightcotnoir. That's how you spell my name. All right, and then go there, and then you can just hover over courses, hover over Mat 125, and then you'll see the assignments down here. So, this is assignment 1. Assignment 2 is called Basic CSS. All right. And so on and so on. And you'll see that we've got a third assignment. Let's just jump to the third assignment really quickly. And this is about web images and positioning. And if you wanted, like here's like an on this page overview. If you click on examples and look down here, you can see some different things that some students have done, right? You can see student examples of work. And I try to do that on assignments like 3 through 6, right? So if you look at A4, the responsive blocks, and you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see that somewhere in here, there, example student work. It's usually at the bottom of the page is the example student work. You'll see if you click on some of these, it shows you some different examples. I also do walkthroughs on some of the more complicated assignments, okay? And you'll see them as they come up. All right, so anyway, so that's that. Now, really quickly, let's jump over and on the syllabus, uh, just so you know, the one thing I did duplicate inside of Canvas that is also on my website is the syllabus. And just because the syllabus is, the syllabus. And so I wanted to make it easily accessible in Canvas. So it's duplicated. But if you're ever outside of Canvas and you need to grab the syllabus, you can hover over courses and click on Mat 125 online syllabus. Make sure you look at the online version of everything because the on-ground version has a slightly different schedule. It has some slightly different stuff, okay? And this syllabus is going to be basically the same. It doesn't have my picture on it, but basically it's the same as this syllabus is, okay? So, and these are just some quick links at the top that will jump down to lower places on the page for convenience. So the basic stuff, it has the course information. It also has some information about my office hours. I will be available if you're an face-to-face kind of person. Even though this is online, I'm happy to meet you for on campus office hours, Mondays from 3 to 5. I can also sometimes I can do special appointments depending on the day. Always we can meet online using the Canvas online conferencing tool. Right, that's me smiling at you. All right, you can always email me from here. I will always get back to you, this instructor contact stuff, I'll always get back to you within 1 to 3 business days, excluding holidays and weekends. That being said, the reality is that I usually get back to you immediately, like either same day or next day. Sometimes there are circumstances that prevent that quick response, but most of the time I get back to you right away. Prerequisites. There are none for this class. Okay, these are some very important dates. I want you to actually really pay attention to these dates. Put them in your calendar. I don't have them in our Canvas calendar, but you can put them in there for yourself. And be aware that these dates, if you're like in a late start class, these are not the same as late start class. Holidays, administrative drops. If you stop participating in this course, you need to know that I don't just reserve the right to drop you from the class. I actually have an obligation to drop you from the class. So it's not just something that I choose to do or don't choose to do. To some degree, it's up to my discretion, but if you stop participating, I am supposed to drop you. And that is regardless of your financial aid status. So if you are receiving financial aid and you do not want to lose it because you get dropped from a class, then you should expect to participate. Please don't come to me and say, well, I'm depending on it. Please don't drop me. I know I haven't been participating, but please don't drop me. I sympathize, but I can't do anything about it. I am supposed to drop you. Okay, so pass, no pass. I want you to read this. If at any point you feel like, I shouldn't say at any point, if at any point before the deadline, which is in this case here, on the 24th for this semester. If you happen to be watching this in a different semester, it might be a different date. But if at any point before that deadline you decide that this class might be too much for you, but you want to stay in it, you just don't want to have a penalty of a bad GPA point assignment if you don't pass the class, you can switch to pass no pass and it won't affect your GPA. And also, this doesn't look bad on a transcript if you do a pass no pass and then you don't pass. It doesn't look bad. An F looks bad. And in fact, W's don't even look that good, to be honest. If you have a whole lot of W's and you actually expect to transfer somewhere, that is a red flag for a lot of admissions offices that you don't complete things, all right, that you start. So just be aware of that. If you have one W or two, maybe it's okay. So course objectives, oh, and by the way, pass no pass, you can still get credit if you're trying to get a MAT certificate and you're not trying to use these units to get transfer credit somewhere, then pass no pass will work for our certificates if you pass them. Okay, so course objectives, I want you to read these. Student learning outcomes, the ones that are specifically very important to this class are these three, that you will learn to apply HTML and CSS coding techniques to construct and format web pages using modern web standards, create effective user interfaces that apply fundamental design and usability principles, and lastly, plan, design, and construct a website and publish it to the web. Okay, those are the three primary learning outcomes for this class. All right, if you need any kind of help or advice, student help desk is useful. Also, I encourage you to go to this link where it says MiraCosta Online Course Prep Tips. That will show you like what your minimum standard computer should be, and stuff like that. And it also gives you other kinds of online class help, so like if you've never taken an online class and you feel a little trepidatious about it, go to this link and it'll help you a lot actually. If you have a disability, please let me know early so that I can help you. You'll need to go to Disabled Student Programs and Services to get your accommodations set up. Okay, so other important links I've put here that I think you should check out. Course requirements, I already talked about the textbook that you need to buy. You can probably get that cheaper online used than you can at the bookstore, but however you want to do it. Software and computer, I've got all of your software requirements here. Pretty much everything in this class I've tried to make so that you can use freeware. The only thing that I don't require, technically, I don't require Photoshop in this class, so you don't have to go out running out and buying it. I do provide an online option for a free editor that's called Pixlr, and it's the online editor. And then there's also something that is not quite the same. It's sort of like something you can add effects to and stuff as Pixlr Desktop. But these are some options that you could use for some image manipulation if you don't want to deal with Photoshop. Photoshop you actually have to pay for, or you can use it in the campus labs if you are on campus ever. But Photoshop, just so you know, is the industry standard for image manipulation. So I do encourage you in some of the tutorials, I show you how to do some stuff in Photoshop. Okay, so completion of work. I want you to look at the course schedule, make sure that you get your stuff in on time. Be aware that this class takes approximately 6 to 8 hours a week working on the material for you to be successful, all right, at a minimum. So this isn't like a history class or something where, you show up 3 hours a week and you do a little bit of reading and maybe you do some writing. This is one where you're constantly having to actually make things, right? And making things takes a different kind of energy and a different amount of time than, say, even writing a paper. All right, course timeline. Again, course timeline, you can check it out. And that's the same pages that we've already been to. Discussion boards, I tell you a little bit about that. Synchronous versus asynchronous. This is primarily an asynchronous class, meaning that all the lectures are recorded and that you can do a lot of the stuff at your own pace. I mean, up to a point, we have timelines and deadlines associated with the class, but you can do it on your own. You don't have to be at a certain place at a certain time, in a real-time session. I do synchronous or real-time sessions for things like office hours. Sometimes I will say, hey, we're going to have an open lab, anybody can come and get help, and then a lot of people have the same questions sometimes. So anyway, critiques, we do have critiques in this class when things are due. So it means that you'll be giving feedback to other students about their work. I'll have you read everything else. And then here's the assignment breakdown. I kind of talked about that already, so I'll let you look at that. And then down below, again, this is where I'm going to also place an orientation video where it says main class orientation. It's not here yet because I'm currently recording it, so it will go here. And this is a quick YouTube tips and tricks video that I kind of talked a little bit about how to like speed things up and slow things down, and how to use some of the interface buttons. But take 5 minutes and watch this, and literally it can end up saving you hours and hours. Not probably just in my class, but in other classes if you're not used to using the speed tool. Okay, so also down at the bottom are some important frequently asked questions. All right, I want you to read all of these. I'm not going to go over them. I want you to read them. Most of them are going to be things that will come up for you later, and so you'll remember, oh yeah, there's some FAQs at the bottom of the syllabus, and you can jump back down here. Okay. All right, and then at the bottom of the Canvas syllabus, this doesn't exist at the bottom of my online syllabus, but Canvas automatically at the bottom of the syllabus page will put all of your assignments in a chronological order. And so you can always access your assignments to turn them in multiple different ways. Now, the other thing too is when you are going to turn something in, this is kind of the last thing I'm going to talk about, but it's really important. You're going to have a multiple step process. So let's click on assignment 1. Okay, so like let's say this is how I'm going to go turn my stuff in. All right, the way that it's going to work is first you would click to do everything, like I said before, that is on the external assignment page. So if I click on that, it takes me to the page that I showed you before. All right, let's close that. It takes me to this A1 beginning HTML assignment, and I showed you this page already, and we kind of walked through it. And then eventually you would if you haven't done brackets tutorial, you would do that, and then you would download example zip file, start working with that. Then you would click on this HTML coding tutorial, and then you would like literally follow everything step by step according to this tutorial, right? And then what you'll need to do, okay, after that's done, when you need to turn your assignment in, there are going to be some different steps since this is a web class. First, you'll upload it to the MAT server, and then here's a link that shows you how to do that. Okay, this takes you to a tutorial if you need to know how to do it. The very first time that you do it is probably the only time you'll ever need to watch this tutorial. So, and if you've ever uploaded stuff to the MAT server for a different class, then you probably already know how to do it. All right. Then after you upload it, you need to view your work that you put up on the web. You need to view it on the web for quality control. Not just the one that's on your desktop, like not just that. You need to take a look at what you actually put up on the web. And the way you do that is you don't just do it through your SFTP CyberDuck tool. You actually open a real browser, like it tells you right here, like Chrome or Firefox or Safari or like Microsoft Edge or something. You open a browser and then you'll go to this link right here. Okay, and when you go to this link, you'll find your name and you'll navigate to your folder. Let's just click on that. And this is where your stuff would show up if you had uploaded it through CyberDuck, right? And then you would click on it and then it would show up as a web page here, and you would make sure that it looks the way you want. Make sure that none of the images are missing. Make sure, that your styling looks right and all that stuff, right? And then if it has problems, you need to figure out how to fix it before you officially turn it in. And if you have trouble and you can't figure out why it's not working, email me and I'll help you, right? But then once it's done, once you know that it looks the way you expected it to, you're going to come here and you're going to submit on this, you're going to submit right here at the top, submit assignment. Then you can also put your web URL. And when I say web URL, what I mean is if this is, on the web, you can come up here and you can copy this URL, put it in my clipboard. You can say copy like that. And it would actually be, you would actually click on the assignment that you uploaded and that's what you would copy. But this is the URL that you would copy. All right, you come here and you would paste it, right? And you could put your comments here if you wanted, okay? So I'm probably going to actually take most of these other choices off of the assignments and just leave website URL. And then you can leave your comments and you would click on submit assignment. And what that allows for me to do when I'm looking at your assignment is I can just look at the URL, click it, and I can go straight to your assignment on the web and I can see exactly what it is that you wanted me to grade. Sometimes you'll have multiple versions, like if you're testing stuff, you'll have multiple versions on the web. Don't make me choose and pick which one I'm supposed to be evaluating. Give me the exact link right here and tell me this is what you want me to evaluate. Leave your comments, okay? And that's how you're going to turn your stuff in for this semester. All right, if you don't do that, then maybe you just put it on the web for testing and I don't know that you're really done, okay? This is an important step, and what it does is it lets me know in my grade book that you're ready for me to go and evaluate it. Okay, that's part of the turning it in. So in this class, it's not as simple as just uploading a file to turn it in like it would be like in an English class. Okay, what you have to do is multiple steps. Last thing, real quick, this inbox right here. I'm not going to submit, I'm going to leave the page, I'm not submitting an assignment. This inbox right here, just so you know, is you will end up having you'll end up being able to communicate with me right here. If you want to send me something, you can click on this little compose a new message and you can send me something. You can also send messages to other classmates as well. But send me something, it'll let me know in my email that I got something and then we can communicate, okay? Just let me know if you have any questions. I'm more than happy to help. And I know that this is brand new. Canvas is new for a lot of people this semester. So if you're having any trouble, let me know and we'll sort of work through the issues together. That being said too, if you come across something that doesn't seem right in Canvas, like maybe a link doesn't seem like it's available, but I said it would be, you know, there's a possibility that I just didn't check something off. Let me know as soon as possible. I make mistakes too. And so, you know, and for that, at least you know that I'm also very forgiving of other people's mistakes because I'm well aware that nobody's perfect, right? So, just let me know if you have any questions, concerns, or problems in the class, and I will be right on it to help you. I look forward to this semester with you. Bye.